Welcome. This is Pamela Lynch, and I am here with Wendy S Burton, one of our authors from Beyond the Shift, and also the author of Amy and the Angels. I am so delighted to have Wendy here to talk about angels and her journey with angels. Wendy has been in my awareness for probably 10 years. I reached out to her when I found out she was writing a book because I know all about her business, but not that she was secretly writing a book for a while. So Wendy, you want to tell our listeners more about yourself? And let's start with Amy and the Angels.
Hi, Pamela. Thanks so much for inviting me to be here today. And also thank you for inviting me to be an author in your book, Beyond the Shift. So I'm really, really stoked about that and thrilled to have to be a part of it. So you're right. We've known each other actually quite a long time. And it was great and reconnecting again. And I was looking. So by the way, everybody that knows me knows that I believe in angels. So it is absolutely no surprise when you reached out to me when I was looking for a publisher. And do I self-publish? Do I find a publisher? Do I indie publisher? So the fact that my angels brought you to me was absolutely divine, is all I'm going to say about that. And yeah, I have always been a believer of angels. I have utilized them in my life. And there came a time in my life when I was able to step away from a career that I had going, where I realized that I could actually go down this path of sharing with people a story about angels. And so I wrote Amy and the Angels.
The thing I love about Amy and the Angels is, and I think it's okay for me to share this, that it is part truth and then very much a novel. So you turned a story, that part of your journey, in a way to introduce people to your angels and the episodes that you have. Episode, I don't know, is that the right word? The experiences that you had with your angels, and wrote this beautiful novel that is just captivating.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. And by the way, I would call them episodes. Some of the stuff that I went through definitely felt like an episode. And you're right. It kind of is a bit autobiographical?
Yeah.
I can never say that word right. But yet, it takes its own path. I took liberties and stuff like that. But throughout my life, I genuinely felt that there was always divine intervention. So when I took some of those experiences, it made me think about, I wonder if that was my angel Tilly that was protecting me here, or George, or, so yeah, I got to share it in a fictional type writing, and I think it came off okay.
It came off beautifully. Never mind. Okay. I want you to own that you wrote a magnificent book, a magnificent novel. And I love that afterwards, people were asking you, how do I connect to my angels?
Yes. And I think that's probably the biggest question that I get. Is simply because of that. The book makes them feel like, oh, gee, maybe I have angels too. And my book doesn't really go into how do I connect with my angels, but my chapter in your book, Beyond the Shift, actually gives you the play-by-play on how to do it.
And
I'm not sure how much you'd like me to share.
Well, I was just going to say, I love in Beyond the Shift, in your chapter, Angel Power, I love that you gave 3 different examples of you asking for something very specific to illustrate the process to the reader, to the audience, and then gave a response of how that played out. Like, it's just pure magic.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the things when I had an experience in my life that was so profoundly magical that I just thought, okay, there's somebody that heard me. There is somebody that's listening to me. So I wonder if I actually sit down and try to talk to them, would I get an answer? So that's what I did. I sat down and this voice, I could hear this voice in my head. And you know that voice that talks to us all the time? It's kind of that voice, but it answers before you know yourself what you're going to say, if that's the best, I think, way to put it. And I asked, are you my angel? And I started this conversation, and it felt a little bit like automatic writing, or some people may call it channeling, or, you know, any of those things. And one of the things that it said is that you need to ask for 3 things and make them unique, make them different, make them be so outrageous, not outrageous enough, by the way, I'd like to get $1 million. This isn't about you asking for that. This is about something unique and different that only you would really connect to, that if it showed up for you.
Yeah.
And the reason we need 3 things is because the first one we get, we're going to go, okay, that was just kind of freaky. And there's no way that's a coincidence. We will pretend it's a one-off, you know. The second one, you go, okay, that's kind of cool. The third one, you get really grounded in, oh my God, I have angels, and I have the power of the universe with me inside of my angels. It's pretty magical.
It is. It is. And the way you were able to sort of lay that out for the reader was so brilliant, in that it invites people to do the same thing, to ask for those 3 things, and then to journal about it. Because I know through knowing you and your writing and your experience that you share in Amy and the Angels, that you have suitcases full of journals. You've been journaling your entire life. And so yourself, like I do, I receive a lot of information when I sit down and I journal. Pen and paper, I will start writing in my journal, and then I will go and I will finish it on, online. I just know that there's lots of those journals that you have, and to be able to ask those questions and receive the answers. It's just neat.
And even, for me, more than anything, after I asked my angels for 3 very specific things, writing it down is not that your angel needs you to do that. I want you to be clear. But what it is it's actually for you. So that when you receive this gift from your angel, it actually has all the details. It's going to have all the details. And more than anything, I want everybody out there to know you actually have angels. You really, really do. I was walking the other day, and I always, when I'm walking, I listen to Audible, and Jan Arden's book I'm listening to right now, by the way, hilarious author. She's so funny, but she had me stop in my tracks because she had shared a story about, I think it was her grandmother or her mom told her this story about this, the cute story, this guy that died, goes to heaven, or wherever we want to call that. And his angel, his guardian angel, is waiting there for him. So he says, okay, well, let's go through here. And they open this door, and this guy walks through, and there's all of these packages that are, wrapped with ribbons and bows and shapes and sizes. And he's just walking with his angel through this room with all of these gifts. And he says, oh, just before we go on, I'm just curious, what are all these presents? And he goes, oh, those are all the gifts you never asked for. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have to share this. Those are all those gifts you forgot to ask for, or you didn't think to ask for. So I really do want our listeners to know that there's an abundance out there, but we just need to ask for it. We need to be specific, and we need to follow the best way to do it and have them connect. And then share, and then write it down so you don't forget, and then say thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Isn't that a great story?
That is a great story. That is absolutely, that's a fabulous story. And because it illustrates that we have so much possibility available to us, so much potential that we kind of leave on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because we simply have not allowed ourselves to ask the question of, and this happened, I'd love to share this. This happened when I was calling in the authors for Beyond the Shift, volume 1, where I knew there was going to be 12 people, right? And I'd been working with you. So we'd already been editing your book. So I was already getting a sense of asking and trusting, right? For me, that has been a huge lesson, is trusting that what I'm asking for is available to me. But I woke up and I asked myself, who are the 6 people who I haven't yet invited into the book, who were intended to be in the book? And I got an answer from the time I left my bedroom into my kitchen to make coffee of how to access those other 6 people.
Yes.
But I had to ask the question. I had to be intentional and say, I know there's 6 more people because I knew there was 12 people.
Yeah.
And so being able to ask that question and trust that our angels are there to provide the answer. But like you say, we have to ask the question, and then we have to be open to receive it.
Yeah. And then, and part of that opening is believing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like if you were to go to a catalog, and I'm sure you've heard this before, you go to a catalog and you order that gorgeous dress you wanted to buy, you order it, you don't go the next day and order it again and order it again and order it again, because that means you don't believe it's showing up.
Yeah.
So that's another really important thing, is just to have faith and know, but you can get excited because that dress is coming in the mail because you ordered it. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's a gift that you've requested from your angels. Then go, there you go, angels, that's what I want. And then get excited. And you're going to, and just watch for it to show up, like literally watch for it to show up. And when it does, you're going to be gobsmacked. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But I hadn't heard that analogy before, and that's brilliant.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite, and you can pick either one of your books, what is your favorite moment in the creation of you becoming an author? Because you're a 2-time author in 2023. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. What is my favorite moment? Oh my goodness, really, that's a biggie.
Yeah.
It was, well, the fact, there's a couple, but the fact is that I started this book when I was 33 years old, at a very, very low point in my life. But then I put the book away because I realized I couldn't make a living as being an author. That was silliness, by the way. And I put it away, and it was just lovely to pick up that book 28 years later, and it didn't, like, it was still there. I know that there's this belief system, if you don't do it, then it goes away or you'll lose it, but so I genuinely believe that I was supposed to write this book. And a really quick story, that at one point 25 years ago, I decided to take this book and print it off on paper just to see what it would look like. And then I took my laptop home, and then the place I was living in burnt down. So I literally, if I hadn't printed it off the day before, it would have been lost. And I don't know that I would have started it again, right? Because it was there. And so I have a feeling that my angels really, really wanted me to write this book. So I know that's 2. So
yeah, no, that's okay. That's beautiful. And because it illustrates the ability to listen to the nudges, right?
Oh, that's good.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because we're being nudged all the time to do things. And if we just write that off as some random thought, because our thoughts like float in and float out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the things that are meant for us to do,
Yeah.
it's divine timing, first of all, right? I mean, that you
And it's
did the day
consistent.
before.
Yeah. And by the way, for about 10 days, 2 weeks, I kept thinking, I need to do that. I need to do that. And I listened to it, but I listened to it at the last moment. If I'd have waited one more day, that would have been gone. And who knows what trajectory that would have taken then. So when you get those nudges from your angels, your intuition, even if it's just like, don't forget to grab that hair tie before you leave the house, because you can be sure you're going to be out there. I should have grabbed it. I knew I was going to grab it. Like just stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're helping us along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start
And
paying attention.
yeah. And we don't know what might have happened instead. So very recent example, I was at my son's, and then this morning I got a call from my son going, Mom, you didn't grab my keys, did you? And I said, no, why would I grab your keys? And he goes, I've looked everywhere for my keys and now we're late. So he's late for work, she's late for school. And I went, why would I do that? I look in my purse and there were his keys.
Yes.
So here I am. I basically just gotten up. I hadn't showered, hadn't even had my coffee. And I said, do I have time to make a coffee? He goes, well, we're already late. So whatever. But I had to get up, get going really fast and go and take the keys over to him. And who knows what would have happened had that not happened. Like,
yes.
We don't know the absence of something too.
Oh, actually, I totally get where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I have started to, when I am driving, when I'm in a traffic jam, is to just calm right down into it. Because for whatever reason, I may be being protected from something else that should have, shouldn't have, could have, would have happened. So it's those things too that we need to take a look at and just be really, the more you speak to your angels, the more you realize that, as I said to you not too long ago, we have to start remembering that things aren't happening to us, they're happening for us. So experiences like that, you just go, okay, for whatever reason, we'll just lean into this, and this was the way it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Does not give us an excuse to not do stuff. I want you all to be clear on that.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. And I think that this is a good place for us to finish up our conversation that we're having. I would love for you to share, Wendy S Burton, two-time author in 2023. How can people be in touch with you? How can they reach out to you?
Okay. Yes. Thank you for that. wendysburton.com. If you go to my website, you will be able to find my Instagram. You will be able to find my Facebook. Right now, those are my two platforms that I'm the most comfortable to be on. Maybe one day I'll branch out a little more, but it's Instagram and Facebook, Wendy S Burton. Email Wendy@WendySBurton. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And of course, when they go to your website, you have Amy and the Angels available there right now and coming very soon, or depending when people are listening to this episode, they'll be able to pick up Beyond the Shift too and find out how do you call in your angels.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can go to Amazon on my website, and I will also be posting on my website Beyond the Shift. So you'll be able to access them through Amazon, through my company as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would recommend to people that you pick up Amy and the Angels now, and then you'll be able to pick up Beyond the Shift to find out the step-by-step of the how-to.
Yes, yes. And leave a review.
Yes.
Don't forget.
So important. Yeah, it is so important for the word to get out about these books, and these books are going to change people's lives. Like
Exactly.
honestly.
Exactly. Well, Pamela, thank you for inviting me today.
My pleasure.
It was a pleasure, as always, spending time with you. And me and my angels look forward to chatting with you soon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, listeners.